Why do we give such a fuck about what people think? I finally think I know why. Good morning. How are you? It's good to see you. I just woke up. It's pretty early this morning. I want to talk about why we give a fuck. Why do we give such a fuck about what people think? The more I watch and read and skim through my many books I've collected through years, centuries, really, if I'm going to be honest, of learning why we act the way we do. They're pretty much all self-help books that I've gone through to help through different times. I truly feel called to help you with what I've come to learn. Do you ever find yourself second guessing yourself or thinking about maybe something that just happened to you and repeating the story back over and over again? Let's say it's a conversation. What did they say? What did I say? What did they say? And then they wouldn't even give it a second thought, where I'm spending all this time and energy worrying. Did I offend them? Did I say that the right way? Do I think that they knew I meant that as a compliment? And who the fuck cares? Guess what? The people that I'm being in this worried state about are on to the third thing, probably, and have no clue. I used to worry about every little fucking thing like that. And honestly, I think I know why. I finally think I know why. Not to be cliche, but back in my childhood, I was not encouraged to let out my feelings. Let me preface back up a moment and say that I know my parents were doing the best they could. And it's taken me years to come to that conclusion. I have finally figured out, to my satisfaction, why things might have been the way they were. Because they were pretty messed up. A lot. But we definitely had some dysfunction, like everybody. And so what I'm finding now is I'm having to go through everything, and like my stat I used to do, it's my grandmother, and she used to sit so content with her yarn from knitting and separate everything that got tangled. So that's what I'm kind of doing with my thoughts, trying to find where the fuck did that come from? Well, maybe it's because, for example, if I'm meeting people in a new situation, there is a tendency in me to want to hug and kiss people hello. It was taught, it was modeled, and it was explained as being polite. If you go into a room and you don't greet every person that same way, there's something wrong with that. That's not okay. And that actually is something that I would have a consequence for. People pleasing, being of that, was instilled in me at a very early age. That's one of the things that kind of planted the seed of, so there's your people-pleasing seed right there, Laura. There you go. Thanks. That's not a healthy habit. I lived with my dad most of my life as a single person, and I'm sure it was something he was taught by his parents, who were doing the best they could. And I will say, I love them. They're not here with us anymore. At the same time, They probably had a lot to do with my dad's rules. It's not until more recently that I've learned about those connections. And they make a lot of sense. They can have profound effects on our lives, and if we have children, on our children's lives. This behavior that's really taught, I wouldn't say, not that I know what really a typical familial upbringing is. I know it was not typical or balanced, and there was a lot of negative, becoming a major people pleaser, a major happiness provider. I truly do love to create happiness and share happiness with people, see joy in someone. But at times it can come to a fault because of how much it was enforced in me to include everybody in the room. I don't know if you're relating to this. A lot of those rules that were reinforced when I was growing up are the reason for the dysfunctional behaviors, like worrying about everything I say and the way it sounds and how it's going to possibly affect someone else, which, by the way, we can't even control the way someone else will be affected by what we say to them. If you think about it, so many things affect the way we perceive what someone is saying or how someone is acting. It depends on them and their day and their experiences and their upbringing. It's like all their personal filters that they put their incoming information through.